Hi, hello, I'm Anya, and welcome back to the top of my crafting table. Also, I fucked up my lipstick really bad today, and I'm not redoing it. Fuck it, this isn't a makeup channel. And my hair is still wet because I didn't have the patience for it to dry. This is whatever. This is a channel for bums, bums who read books. And I am reading books. It is still sunrise on the readathon, and I am battling for my life. If you've watched previous videos, I was in a almost 2 year long reading slump ever since I survived Hurricane Helene. Yeah, it's been a rough time. Everybody's real traumatized. Still, that's what natural disasters do. But I've been participating in this readathon, and it's been motivating and inspiring. Being surrounded by readers and by people who love reading books. And I think I'm sliding out of my slump. So, what did I read for the readathon this week? I have just finished Hammers on Bone by Cassandra Khaw because I am the only person who actually liked Nothing But Blackened Teeth. I thought it was phenomenal. Hammers on Bone is Lovecraftian noir. So it's malls and dames and cigarettes and tentacles. Really good, but noir is not my thing. So I'm probably going to unhaul this one, but I do recommend it if you're into that kind of thing. Look at this cover, though. Look at that. Look at it. Ooh, don't look at my chipped nails. After that, I picked up, so one of the challenges is to read a banned book. So I picked up Their Eyes Were Watching God. This is a classic. I've had it on my list for forever. BIPOC author, frequently banned or challenged book. Short, 200 pages. And I'm going to have to DNF this. Not because the book is bad, but because so I didn't realize that this book is partially about a hurricane. And I can't read hurricanes in fiction anymore. I used to love, I think I loved what Mara from Books Like Woe calls the isolated closed circle mystery. I loved a mystery or thriller where people were abandoned in an isolated place where you can't leave, you can't get out, and somebody is a killer. And usually what keeps you there is a storm, like a catastrophe of some kind, a snowstorm, a hurricane. I used to love those books, and I can't read them anymore. I tried earlier this year, I picked up The Storm by Rachel Hawkins because I thought that would be a fun, kind of frothy time. And the book wasn't that good. But let me tell you, I white-knuckled my way through that thing because I don't know why I feel like I have to justify this, but I feel really bad for DNFing a classic, especially one. I don't read that many classics, so the ones that I do read are special to me. But I just can't, man, I just can't. No hurricanes for me. I was actually so traumatized after I realized this book had a hurricane in it that I had to pick up something else. And that something else that was closest to me was Stephen King's Cujo. Stephen King is a comfort read for me. It's like a fluffy, warm blanket. Never read Cujo before. But also, hey, this counts as a banned book because Florida has banned basically all of Stephen King. Apparently, he's the most banned author just because he's written so many books. Anyway, Cujo is banned because of the satanic lesbian influences of the rabid dog. I'm just joking. Can you imagine? Oh my God, can you imagine if this book was about lesbians fighting rabid dogs? I would be all over it. Anyway, Cujo. Don't see this one talked about a lot. Don't see this one recommended a lot, but we're going with it. We're seeing what we're going to see. I did know this book was about a rabid dog. I did not know that it was also about the ghost of a serial killer in a small child's closet. That's not a spoiler. That's like the first couple pages. Not really sure what he's doing in there. Is that just what serial killers do when they die? Who knows? Maybe all of our afterlives are just small children's closets, just scaring the shit out of some kids. All right, that's all I got for now, but I'm still vlogging. I'm still vlogging this readathon. I'm still here. I'm still slamming it out for Team Earth. Check in with you later. So Cujo is a weird boy. He's a weird boy. If I didn't know what I was reading, I would think that I was reading like a 70s domestic drama. You've got the hardworking dad, and he works in advertising, and they've got their kid, and you've got the cheating wife. Spoilers for a God knows when did this book come out? And then you've got a serial killer's ghost living in a closet, and a dog that so far is just a good boy. He's just a good boy. He's a big fluffy Saint Bernard, and he's just a good boy. The book is more concerned with infidelity. The wife was like, she was like cheating on her husband because he was boring, and she's having her feminine mystique moment. And so she's cheating, and she decided to break it off with the guy because she felt bad. And then the guy threatens to sexually assault her, and that was a very tense and unexpected moment. No thank you, Mr. King. But now the guy is like sending obscene letters to her husband telling him about the affair. And so far, this is a drama. This is almost a dramedy because I can't get over the ghost in the closet. I'm only 76 pages in so far, and I know it's going to pick up. The dog has already been scratched by the bat. He's been infected with rabies, and it's just taking its sweet time rolling around. But something I do admire about Stephen King is that I think he's got the real knack for character development. I think he can really flesh out a character with just a few sentences. You really get a sense of like who the random old drunk dude living by Cujo's house is. And I hate to say it, but I am enjoying the book. I know that some people hate when Stephen King goes off on his tangents and his rambles, but I love that shit, man. I eat it up. So yeah. Don't have any other updates. I'm not currently reading another book. Just chilling at home. It's late at night. And I'm about to go take my makeup off and do, my hair is crazy. It's frizzing so bad from the humidity here. None of that was interesting. Let's get back to Stephen King. Welcome back to the crafting table. So I am 200 plus pages into Cujo right now. And it's better than I thought it would be. Like, I'm invested. I said earlier that there was a completely unnecessary R-word attempt, but I walk that back because the plot line is being fleshed out and developed with this guy being, like, he remains in the story, and he is a clear and present threat to the protagonist of the book. And the only reason that isn't more traumatizing to her is because she immediately winds up in a situation with a rabid dog. And so I don't know how this plot line is going to wrap up, but it is being addressed, and it is a thread of the book, if that makes sense. The book is still, like, it's a little erratic. It's a little jumpy. And I wonder if so I've read that this is the book that Stephen King doesn't remember writing because he was on so many drugs. I believe it was this one. And I'm wondering if that explains the choppiness of the writing a little bit. But it's fast paced. It kind of reminds me of Jaws, which I read a couple of years ago. Right down to the affair plot line, but I feel like the affair plot line is better handled in Cujo. And I specifically, so in the hands of a shittier writer, the woman having an affair would make her fair game, like in a slasher. That would be the kind, cheating would be the kind of thing that made you fair game for the killer. You would not get to be the final girl. But here in this book, she is a main character. She is the protagonist, and her reasons for cheating are taken seriously. Even if she did the wrong thing, the reasons that she did it are taken seriously as being serious things that were affecting her. I made a joke crack about it being like, oh, her feminine mystique moment, but it kind of is. That was the cat jumping on the table. Say hi, Lucy. He won't say hi. He is obsessed with my copy of Cujo and keeps taking naps on it. So in the hands of a lesser writer, I think that her reasons for having the affair would not be taken seriously. But here, she's depressed. She really is. She's a housewife whose son is starting to go back to school or go to school for the first time. And she's realizing that her days are empty and that she doesn't want to do any of the things that all the other housewives around her used to fill their days. That in fact, those things make her feel empty and hollow. And this affair was in some ways an attempt to remind herself that she was still alive, that she felt things. And I actually think it's quietly radical in that portrayal of it. And I like that the husband is angry, but mostly he's sad. And his sadness is taken very seriously. I'm not sure how often men get to be like his sadness is taken seriously, and the way that he feels like he can't be vulnerable with the men around him and talk about what's going on, that's taken seriously as well. And I don't know, I think that Stephen King is really good with big emotions, with big feelings a lot of the time. And I found myself more invested in this affair plotline than I was in, say, the affair plotline in Jaws, which is a similar book, both because it's got, but I don't know why I'm thinking it's similar. Maybe it's like a similar time period. The affair, the fact that both of them are animal attack books, and I haven't read a lot of books with animal attacks. Anyway, I'm going to finish Cujo today, and I'll let you know how it goes. So I just finished Cujo, and this book is surprisingly good. I mean, I am a huge Stephen King fan, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. Hello, kitty cat. But this was surprisingly good. All the threads came together pretty effectively. Really tense, really sad at the end. Like, actually made me tear up a little bit. Like, the ending, yeah. I just finished it, so I'm kind of just sitting here like, that was so tense, and then that was so sad. So sad. I feel like this is the kind of book that you already know whether or not you're gonna like. Like, you already know whether or not you can handle animal attack horror. But if you can, I do recommend this book. All right, I'm gonna go save whatever the cat is messing with from the cat. So I just finished Binti by Nnedi Okorafor, and that is such a smart, sharp sci-fi novella. It's a little bit out of my usual wheelhouse. I haven't been a big sci-fi reader for years, big SF reader. But that one was really good. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up the rest of the series, but this one is about a girl who's leaving her culture for the first time. Her culture doesn't leave their homeland. They don't go to the stars, but she has been accepted into a prestigious university, the first of her people to qualify for this galaxy-spanning university. And so she leaves everything behind to go. And what happens to her from that point is a spoiler, but this is a great novel about culture and identity and finding the place where you belong. And I do recommend it if you are willing to branch out into SF. I expect most of the people who end up watching this will probably be into horror like me, but this novella was too good not to recommend. All right. What else? I have been reading The Buffalo Hunter since the beginning of this month. And it's not that I'm struggling. Cat's back. It's not that I'm struggling with it. It's that it's really heavy. So much of it is about the loss of culture and the loss of self, and like vampirism as the colonization of the body. And it is a smart book, but it brought me, my eyes were welling up by page 64. But it is probably one of the best historical horror novels that I have ever read. I'm about halfway through at this point, but I put it down for a little bit because I was reading for Sunrise on the Readathon, and I felt like having things that I could finish quickly would increase my motivation, which is why this has kind of been a novella month. Sorry, had to soothe the cat for a moment. But I think it's working. I think it is getting me back to reading. I think I have enough perspective on it now to be like, my 2-year reading slump is less of a reading slump and more like almost 2 years of clinical depression following a natural disaster. And I feel like that probably happened to a lot of people who went through something like that. That probably happened to everybody who survived something like that. But I'm just now really coming to terms and getting to the point where I can talk about it. So that's my epiphany for the day. But I finished Cujo today. I finished Binti today. 2 really good books, both very, very different from each other. I am hoping to get The Buffalo Hunter done before the readathon is over. So I'll catch you up on that. Bye. It's the end. It's the end of the vlog. If you thought I was going to do something like put on makeup for it, you were wrong. But I did want to add a little add-on. I wanted to add an Addie thing. Sunrise on the Readathon was founded by Katie Colson, and the emphasis is on BIPOC, banned, translated, or library books. And Cujo is a little inappropriate for it. Please forgive me. I was going through some stuff. The rest of the books I read this month were much more appropriate for the readathon. But I wanted to give a shout out to that readathon. It's been so motivating and inspiring, and it's helped with my reading so much. I am but a small drop in the sea of people who have contributed to the readathon and who have read new books and who have borrowed books from their libraries and who have checked out new to them authors and who have lifted up the voices of the marginalized. And it has just been a fantastic experience. I've just been really happy to be a part of it. And I wanted to just tell you about it and say that, hey, it's going to be it's an annual thing. So maybe next year you can check it out and join it too. Anyway, yeah. The other thing, the hurricane and natural disaster that I am talking about in this vlog, that was Hurricane Helene, which I did not have nearly as traumatizing or as bad of an experience with as many people did. Many people truly, truly suffered, and many people lost their lives. And my experience was not that bad, but it was traumatic enough that I can no longer read books with hurricanes in them. I can't read books about natural disasters, and that's just how it is. It's been an incredibly rainy week here, and we've been under flood watches, and I still get a little itchy in the head when that's going on, and I needed a comfort read, and Stephen King is my equivalent of a warm blanket on a cold night. I just needed something that had no purpose other than to be comforting to me. Cujo's about as cozy as I get. But I did want to to clarify that. Maybe next year I'll be able to pick up Their Eyes Were Watching God for the readathon. Maybe by then, but not this year. But, you know, it's a great book. It's a classic. The cat tried to jump on the table, but he missed. He is okay, though. With that, I'm going to wrap this up properly. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.